business of the county. Lord, just ask you to be with all the county officials, all the department workers, and all the employees of our county. Thank you for the work that they do, and Lord, just bless them, protect them, Lord, in the work that they do each and every day. Lord, just ask you to be with our county, those that are suffering from losses and health issues, Lord, just to lift them up, Lord, and heal them, Lord, for your will. Lord, be with our nation and all the decisions that are coming up, and just we pray for our leaders that they'll make godly decisions, Lord, and walk in the right path. Lord, just be with us as we go throughout the rest of this day. Thank you for what you do for us each and every day. All these things, ask your name.
Amen.
Let's call us be Lord by saying the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning once again, everyone. Thank you for attending, whether you're here live or online. We're going to start today with the approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Chris, do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jason. No discussion. Roll call, please.
Ashford,
Yes.
Goodman,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Parker,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. For those wondering, Thomas Bolden would join us via Zoom. Wasn't literally here today in person. So since that's done, let's move on. We have a representative from the Logan County Chamber, Polly. How are you doing today? We're doing good. Welcome.
I'm rushing from my board meeting here, so I've just been in meetings all morning, but hopefully in front of you all you have a letter from the chamber. And this may look familiar. It's the letter and the outline of Logan County Tobacco and Heritage Festival. Each year Fiscal Court sponsors this event in a very large amount that helps in a very large way. So we do offer quite a bit of free events for the community for the Tobacco and Heritage Festival. And as you all are aware, our concerts with the festival have gotten bigger in years past, as well as each of the free events. And that's largely in part to the contribution by Fiscal Court. So we are here today to ask the court to sponsor the 2024 Tobacco and Heritage Festival in the amount of $10,000.
$10,000 is the budgeted amount that we've set aside.
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Our first event is September 29th.
Davenport?
and the
Yes.
rest of the days
Goodman?
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Next, I have in front of you, you'll also see a sponsorship form for Kentucky State Fair. So a couple of weeks ago, Brooke Waldrop with LEAD and Dee Dee Brown with Tourism and myself came to you all to show the Logan County logo that we're working to brand. So part of the discussion of that has come from the need and the desire to see Logan County represented at the Kentucky State Fair. We have not had representation there in a few years now, since before the pandemic. So our organizations are partnering together with Todd County to get a larger booth space and to have representation at the state fair this year. This has just come about in the past few months, so our organizations did not have budgeted money for this event. However, we do want to see it done to the best of our ability to represent Logan County at the state level. So we have put together sponsorship opportunities to help pay our way to State Fair, to make sure that our exhibit booth is a good representation of our county and have a good look to it. So we're going to be doing bags. So in these bags we'll have things like our Logan County guide, the brochures, things from Todd County as well. But we are offering sponsorship opportunities to have logos placed on those bags from both of our county organizations, so Logan County Fiscal Court, Todd County Fiscal Court, as well as county industries. just to be able to have that representation there, because we do know that it is important to have brand recognition at the state level as well. So we are here today as well to ask the court if they would be interested in sponsoring our way to the Kentucky State Fair on August 15th through the 25th.
When's the deadline you need an answer on these?
Sooner rather than later. with being, you know, right at 6 weeks away from State Fair, we do need to get the ball rolling on some of this stuff.
Have you had any participation on this yet?
No, we just pushed it out starting yesterday, so.
I really like your tree. Where's that gonna be?
We're going to get t-shirts for everyone, and so that's on the back of the t-shirt.
okay.
So we're also looking for volunteers to help work the booth. With 10 days, that's a lot of time, and the discussion originally was, you know, we'll split the time 50-50 with Todd County, 5 days for Todd County, 5 days for Logan County. However, I think with as much interest as we're getting in Logan County, I think we're going to be able to have someone from Logan County represented at the booth every day. But we would love to have more. So if any of you all are interested in going and being at that booth and being a face of Logan County, we would absolutely appreciate that.
Well, that's cool. Who designed that?
I did.
Well, hey, could I ask? That's really cool.
Thank
I
you.
like it.
Judge, I'm all for it if you tell me where you're spending it, man.
I'm
I
sorry.
said, I'll make the motion if you tell me where you're spending it, man.
I think,
Jason's road money.
I think if at all possible, do you have enough time for us to let the judge check out some areas you can get it from, and then we'll talk about next court meeting, or that's in 2 weeks?
2 weeks away.
We can do that.
You wanna do that, or
You'll
you?
reserve
Yeah,
one?
I'd rather do that.
Okay.
You will reserve one of the sizes, or you just want to leave it open?
If we could reserve a size, that would be ideal, just so we know what, I don't want to oversell or undersell.
Well, I'd do a 3x3.
I'd do a 4x4.
Oh, okay. What's your leaning to?
I have no opinion on that at all.
That doesn't matter.
What
Just
size?
need to do it and find 2,500 or split it 7 ways.
But you're just starting to.
What you thought?
I think we just make a decision right now.
It's up to the court.
And if y'all want to do a 3x3, it's fine.
Thomas, do you have a thought?
The only thought is where do you take the funds from?
Yeah, that's what Thomas said
right.
too. What's such a cool idea, I think.
It is a good idea.
Hey, I'll make a motion that we reserve the 3" by 3" spot, and judge decide where the money comes from.
Yeah.
$1,000. Second.
Feels so pleased.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Before we make that, Amanda, are you looking at what you're saying? Before we make that motion, we may want to retract this.
We can come back to it at the end, later.
We go ahead and post it in. Okay. No further discussion, roll call.
Well, table it till the.
Okay, I thought you meant go ahead and do it and make a post motion on that. My apologies.
Yeah, we'll just table it till she finds some answers.
You'll have to rescind your motion. I mean, that can't be left on the table.
All right, I rescind the motion.
What's that?
I rescind the motion.
Let's do that and come back and revisit.
I'll rescind my second.
Okay, thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Holly.
All right, next up is the approval of the bills. You have a bill list in front of you.
Motion to approve the bills as presented.
Have a motion from Thomas,
Second.
and a second from Jason. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. All right, next up, let's move on to treasurer's report. Look at Amanda, she's actually walking to the podium.
All right.
Yeah.
Is that special nursing she got while she was sick?
Right,
Anyway,
okay.
welcome back, and glad to have you, glad to see you upright again, so.
Right. I'm doing big things today. So I have several things for you this morning. On your iPad, you should have the financial statement ending June 30th, 2024, the appropriation condition report ending June 30, 2024, a list of encumbrances, and the third-party project financial statement. So ending June 30, the balance in the general fund was 305, 538.88. Road fund, 113, 846.92. Jail fund, 104, 333.13. LGEA, 25, 210.96. Federal grants fund, 54.68. Solid waste recycling, 478, 568.69. Parks and Rec Fund, 1,656,503.60. Occupational tax, 6,207,372.61. Life skills, 160, 474.73. 911, 249, 994.90. Health Insurance Fund, 403, 396.20. County Clerk storage fees, 87,202.04. ARPA Fund, 3,400,453.82. National Opioid Settlement Fund, 313,799.38. Special Reserve Fund, 4,398,911.64. For a total of all funds, 17,905,662.18.
Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. No further discussion or questions. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Okay, the next thing on your iPad should be a list of budget transfers that we need to get approved.
Amanda, one thing, I think this revenue condition report's missing some pages. Like it only says 5 pages and this says 4 of 16.
Okay, we'll scan that in again.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
What was your name, Amanda? I'm sorry.
The budget transfers.
Oh, okay. I make a motion to approve the budget transfers as presented for $2,785.
Second.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Tell me what page that's on.
5.5.
5.4, Tyler.
It's the second
Got
page.
it.
It's up.
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
And I do have one cash transfer today. We need to transfer $75,000 from the Occupational Net Profits Tax Fund to the jail fund.
So moved.
Second.
No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
That's all I have for you.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. Next up is road work request, District 1.
District 1, out on Bismarck Lane, I don't know if you're aware of this yet or not, Pee Wee, but there's been some graffiti added to the road. Okay, in very big letters.
What kind of graffiti there,
I love big booty something. So, I guess, can we somehow cover that up? I guess we'll have to spray paint over it, I don't know. All right.
Pretty vulgar.
I left out the bad part.
You left out the bad part.
Yeah. All right, and then
It's not age appropriate at all.
and then on Concord Road, we might meet out there sometime. There's some a gentleman concerned about some corrosion in the ditch. We can maybe do a little ditch work in an area. I'll meet out there with you sometime. We'll talk about it. I don't know if there's what we can do about it or not, but at least meet with him and tell him what we can do. Other than that, continue maintenance. Appreciate everything.
District 2?
I'm gonna get with Mr. Mast about getting an easement or permission or ever how it needs to be done about the Montgomery Road. It needs to be ditched and culvert or whatever. Pee Wee knows how to take care of it, but there's a lot of water that's draining into the road. It's bad and runs all the gravel out in the road. And then also with Denise, need to get with you on Denise Road out there on Shaco, and see about getting that intersection made wider, whatever. And then another one is on Wells. You've already got that one though under your belt though. You're fixing to do that. But thank you all for that intersection at Barren Plains and Smith Grove. Man, that's professional work right there. That's good stuff. Yeah.
District 3?
Anyway, I put on here about installing a cross drain for Joe Montgomery Road. I was gonna ask you about the speed limit signs that those come in. Okay. So we still have the one from Macintosh that's requested.
Did they tell you that?
I also was gonna tell you that I received some thanks for the bush hogging at the end of Markham Road and fixing the shoulder at TG Blick Road. So the people there were much appreciative of that. Otherwise, continue maintenance.
District 4?
Out on Duncan Ridge Road, it's that bridge down there in the bottoms. The growth is coming up kind of over into the right of way, and I don't know if the mower max will get it or not. But if you'll look at that, and then there's a few, I just noticed them on Duncan Ridge Road where like grass and vines grow up in them signs and stuff. Is that something we can spray? Okay. All right, and everything else looks good. Thanks for the mowing and the mower max and side trimming and stuff, and just continue maintenance.
District 5?
The mower max is repaired now. I think at one time there was a problem.
Yes, ma'am.
I already talked to you about what we need. God bless. Thank you.
All right. Thomas, District 6?
Continue maintenance. Thanks for everything. Appreciate the good work. Tyler, if you can fill me out a card, I'd appreciate it.
I don't see one.
Oh, okay.
Ian may have it there.
Yep, we got you.
With that being said, I need a motion to accept roadwork request.
There's one thing I forgot to mention that's not really a road thing, but out on Slim Collins Road, Sheriff, is there any way y'all could, there's some people speeding out there off Morgantown Road, you know what I'm talking about? Okay, yeah, out there. Okay, appreciate it. Make a motion to approve the road work request as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up is elected officials. Sheriff Stratton, would you like to go first?
Morning.
Good morning.
Need to get the fee report acknowledged first. So move. Acknowledging sheriff's fee report.
Yes, I do have a second.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
Also, I talked to Levy and them about go ahead and put out the ads for the bids for the new vehicles and get that stuff rolling. Just kind of want to let you guys know that. I guess you have to maybe acknowledge that, or I'm not sure if you have to acknowledge it, but basically we're ready to move forward with that.
Make a motion to approve the advertise for the sheriff's vehicles.
Second.
Motion and second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
All right, so I have 2 personnel action requests for 2 new hires. The first one is Elijah West, who's a certified officer out of Portland PD, which is in Tennessee. We were able to, our academy accepted his training out of Tennessee. So basically, instead of 6 months, he has to do a month spread out over time. So he's do field training right now. Going to be working the streets. Well, he's working the streets, but he's with the field training officer right now. So he has 7 years of experience. Cool. He's very, it's a lot of great qualifications. He was a canine handler in Portland. He was part of the drug task force down there. They had multi-jurisdiction task force. They moved to Auburn, and his wife got a good job in the hospital, one of the hospitals in Bowling Green. So he worked with 2 of our canine deputies, and he said, hey, he wanted to join. So he's got a lot of training, a lot of things that it's going to be really good for us. Brings a lot of energy.
Do you have too many openings still?
I still have 3.
3?
But I've got another personnel action request after this one, and then I also just hired 2 non-certified guys that are waiting for academy. So we have 4 new people.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
After they're hopefully in place, then how many? That will be,
Still have a couple of openings, but we're adding 4 to the shifts, so that's a big deal, especially with 2 of them being certified. So.
yeah. Okay, good. Good.
Make a motion to approve the personal action request of Elijah A. West with 7 years of credit experience putting him in the base schedule LC-SO-1.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes.
All right, the second one is Tyler Johnson. He has 1 year of experience from Warren County SO. He does have to go to academy though. However, he had a lot of experience with Warren County. He started out with them, worked board, and things of that nature. But he is transferred to us, and he's going to start his career with us in academy. So he's got 1 year experience.
Will that be as a trainee? Or is he still not certified?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 1 year training.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So he's got to go do the full academy?
Yeah.
He's not,
Yeah.
okay. So 1 year experience as a trainee?
Yeah, he worked he worked up there, but he had not gone to academy up there.
Okay. Let me find that one. There we go. ST dash.
No, the way he left, he was not under
I was talking
contract.
about somebody we sent to academy. Is there?
Yes, they recently changed it. It was a 3-year contract, but this July it changed to a 5-year contract. So they are, if they leave, if they just quit and leave, they cannot go to another agency
If they do, then either that agency has to pay us or that individual has to pay us. Most of the time, the individual is who ends up having to do the paying.
Reimbursed.
We actually had a guy that applied, it was still under the 3-year contract a couple of years ago. And the way that agency was, they said, here's what you owe us, which was like $100,000. Because it's overtime, it's pay, you can do equipment, you can do a lot of things. Every agency kind of does something different on that part. And I've talked to Joe about it. It's a KRS, so it's in law, but we're kind of working on something for them to sign. But even when they go to school for academy, they tell them, you're KRS bound by this agency for 5 years.
So, if you don't mind me asking, so when he discovered, I'm guessing he didn't know he owed that much.
He did. He came to me and was like, because some agencies buy people's contract because they're certified, it's quicker, and it's an investment. So some agencies will negotiate between agencies to buy out a contract.
Well, it's cheaper than sending them to the
It's
county.
cheaper and it's quicker. So there is an advantage. It just depends on how much the agency wants.
I was just curious, I heard of something like that happening.
Yeah, it's a 5-year deal, so, these guys are
Bound for 5 years.
Yeah.
Well, that is a good policy.
I'm assuming he's aware of, does he know, I just wonder if he was given, what number he was given, where he was coming. Does he know what his pay?
Oh, that gentleman there? No, he didn't. He's not bound by a contract.
No, what I mean is the pay that the SO-1 is a lot more than ST-1.
No, I think I gave him training pay.
Okay.
I think that's
Okay.
my miscommunication on my part.
I make a motion to approve personal action request for Tyler M. Johnson with 1 year's credit experience as a trainee officer and pay schedule LC-ST-1. Effective date July 3rd, 2024. And I probably should have said that on the first one too, because the other one was the first. That was the first.
So when does I just was gonna ask about that other question. So when does his commitment to you start?
The July.
So,
his hire date.
as of his signing on that, he
Yes.
owes you that time?
Yes, he's bound by contract.
Oh, cool. I didn't realize y'all had that.
So that time, the 5 years starts on the hire, not on the
Yes.
completion of the
Yes.
training.
That's day one of pay.
Wow, cool.
I don't think we ever got a second on that.
Second.
I've got a second now. If no discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I did.
Do we need to go back and change that other one to the July 1st? You got it? Okay.
Next up is our clerk, Stacy Watkins. How are you, ma'am?
I also have a fee report.
Make a motion to approve the fee report.
Second.
So acknowledged.
I have a motion in a couple of seconds.
That delay up there, Thomas, got you third place, buddy.
Dang.
If no further discussion, roll call, please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes.
Okay, and then I also just wanted to let y'all know that I did apply for the remainder of the grant for the HB1 bill, and Logan County did get approved. So all
Deal.
total, we got $224,201 sitting in that account to spend on the scanning project.
Excellent.
So,
Good.
we've been iffy on whether or not we get it all. We got
Wow,
what we needed.
congratulations.
Thank you,
Deal.
guys.
Thank you.
I got a lot more. I'll see you in a minute.
All right.
Oh, that's cool.
Next up is Jailer Josh.
What was that thing, the scanning device? Wow.
Morning.
As of this morning, our total count was 175. It's 121 county, 51 total state inmates, 38 on the state side, 2 out of county and 1 holding for out of state, awaiting pickup. All I had for you today was just some reminders on some training if anybody wanted to stop by. But we start our work ready boot camp. That course that covers OSHA 10, CPR, safety, first aid, workplace communication, financial literacy, and other areas that will start next week. And then not this Friday, but the next Friday, the 19th. I believe it starts at 2:30. I'll get the exact time. We've had to change it a little bit, but our next pre-release class, this will be our second, where all the different groups and resources that the individuals have, they'll get a folder when they're released. We try to look at within 3 months out, but they'll get the folder with business cards and pamphlets with all the resources that they have available. All they got to do is reach out, whatever it is, whether it be, resume build, work, building, license, social security card, birth certificates. There's so many things. Sober living options. There's so many different groups that will come and speak. But if you all can make it, that would be great to witness that. But they'll give their presentation, so they'll have a face to go with a name and what resources they have to offer. But that again will be on the 19th. But that's all I have.
Do you put that up in your jail?
Yes, this is the flyer for that work ready that will start next week with the classes that's on that date.
Really good, Josh.
Yes, ma'am. But that's all I have. I just wanted to invite you all out. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. All right, moving on to department heads. Ginger, do you have anything for us? Yeah, you are, so we'll just save on. Mr. Nick Shoulders, Archives, I know you've always got something good to bring us. Good information, you look happy, that's good.
I do. So if you haven't heard yet, we do have our new HVAC system. It is installed. It is working wonderfully. PSK did an amazing job. They were in, out, worked in the sweltering heat of an attic. Don't know why our unit's there, but it is. And the last piece of everything is the high density mobile stuff, the mobile shelving. We're still waiting on it to ship.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Any questions?
Thank you for the update. Road supervisor, Pee-wee, what you got for us, sir?
We was trying to get some cold mix or do some patching and other things, and these are the two that ain't. A couple of people that even make it, so these are the ones that found and can help us out.
Help you out for what? The cold patch?
Cold mix.
Okay.
That when Scotty's ain't up there, we'll have something that we can continue on fixing with the hot box.
Well, you know that bridge on Poplars, 3 Poplars, and they keep calling me, and I said, well, they have to wait for the cold patch.
Yeah, we ain't got nothing to work with, so we'll have to, it's other than we had to catch, when Scotty's there here later, they hadn't been over. We got something to fix the place for Chris, and then they'll open one day and close one day. Kind of makes it aggravating.
Yeah, that is. And you know, up on where cemetery hits Van Houten, that's on your schedule too. I'm not trying to burden you with all that.
I know. Yeah, I know about all these places. Just got to have something to fix it with. So as soon as we
Well, that's what I
get
told
the
him. I
stuff
said,
in, we'll eventually get it.
That's a big list.
Just need material and the people to do it. That's the hold up on a lot of this.
Okay.
Are both of these delivered prices?
Yeah, this is the one with 125 ton delivered, 65 tons. I think it's what it is delivered, and the other one's 60 tons.
60 tons delivered.
40 tons. He's a little higher.
147.50 and then
69.
And the one at PRI, whatever they are, they have polymer in. If you don't know what that is, that's a hardener. in the oil to help the cold mix set up to make it, once it sets, it don't come back out of the hole as quick.
What's your preference?
The cheaper one right there, it's PRI. I think it'll be fixed mix.
What's budgeted in that line item? Is that 69 tons all you can get?
That's all we need for right now.
All you need for now to stockpile. I'll make a motion to approve the quote for $8,625 for 69 tons of cold mix from PRI Pavement.
Second. Motion and second.
And they'll deliver one day next week, what he told me.
No further discussion. Roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcox,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes,
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker,
Yes. Thank you, Pee Wee.
Thank you.
Next up is, let's bring Eric up from the.
were you not done?
Yeah, that's all I need. You need some help.
Yeah, when he walked away, I figured he was done.
He put his hand up, I thought maybe there was something more, okay.
Hey, Eric, how are you, sir?
Good morning.
Morning.
I heard you got a big delivery of pets.
Yes, we got 26 little dogs brought to us a few days back. So from a seized case, the good part is they did owner surrender them. So then we're not sitting there trying to wait through the court system to have to hold the dogs and not be able to adopt them out.
Very appreciative of that.
Very appreciative of that. So with that being said, just go through a couple of our quick totals. Ending June, we ended June with 63 dogs, a net gain of 9 dogs for the month. We had 24 ACO pickups, 10 owner surrender, 4 stray drop off. We had 21 adoptions out, 8 owner pickups, and 0 euthanized. Our save rate right now is 98%.
Nice.
So that's a good number.
Yeah.
We did obviously just get in 26 dogs from a hoarding case. We have probably 9 of them that are going to be, we're going to have to work with. They're basically feral dogs that were living in a house and they've never been really socialized to humans. So it's a pretty sad case in these poor dogs. I mean, they're just more scared than anything. So it's going to take getting them socialized and getting them, you know, because you go by them, they
Cower.
yeah, cower and then try to bite, you know,
Yeah.
go at you. But the sad part is that same house, we took out 10 a few months back and we were able to get all those adopted out, and there was a lot of the same issues. So I have confidence that we're going to be able to work these dogs and work with them. And
So one person has caused us 36 dogs in the last.
36 dogs in the last probably 3 months.
That is crazy. There's got to be some sort of.
Right.
Does this person take them in as they find them, or what the heck?
To be honest, I don't have all the answers to that. That's more of the ACO, and right now we're not.
Yeah, you're not doing that part.
We're not doing that part right now. I was there. It's a 93-year-old lady. The house, in my opinion, should probably be condemned. As
She lives there too.
yes, and her husband. So these dogs are living in the house. So
But they're not human associated.
no, but this house is a pretty bad case. Like I said, they're just living in this house in piles of rubbish and just running around. It's a pretty sad case, and it's unfortunate, you know. And obviously, she has mental health issues, you know, and she was in tears watching these dogs go out. So, you know, letting her know that they're all gonna go to a good place and that everything's gonna be all right and that she needs to stop doing this.
Did you tell her that?
Yeah, you know, and I told her, I said, it's for the benefit of her health and for the health of the animals that, you know, I mean, they had 26 dogs and they couldn't hardly feed themselves because they were feeding these dogs, so it's not like they were unhealthy or anything. They had fleas, riddled with fleas, and I don't know how they live in the house with all these fleas, but.
Well, they'll go from dog to human.
Right, that's what I mean, so it's a pretty bad case, so hopefully we're done with it, and once we get done with getting these dogs, I may do a follow-up with them and see where they're at, and hopefully, unfortunately, what they did is they have 2 dogs. For them
Let
to
them keep 2.
Yeah, for them to own or surrender to us and not have to go through the court system and hold these dogs for months until the court system, we let them keep 2 dogs. So once we get our hands done with these dogs and cleaned up and adopted out, I want to go back and offer to get those dogs, you know, spay or neutered and then bring them back just so she.
Wouldn't it help to have a health department official or even a representative from the court go with you and say, you know, no offense, but this is a health department issue too, for your sake?
I agree, you know, and if I win, I would have the ACO officer come with me at the very least, you know, but I think, I really think somebody should get more involved with it, and maybe they are. I don't know the ins and outs of it. You know, maybe there is something going on that I don't know about, you know. Yeah. So I can't speak on that to say that.
Do we have a health department official that would be in that?
You know, all we can do is request. I mean,
we can request.
If you can't push anybody.
No, I wasn't meaning push. I meant request somebody that might be willing to do that for the sake of these people, if nothing else. I mean, they might feel.
Yeah, so
Possibly
get a bite
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's on the health
Let you
board?
know that I talked to Joe about this for about 2 meetings, and we also filed a JC3 with the Department of Social Services for resources, but the woman has dementia, the dogs were her life.
Where's her husband in this?
He's there, but he's hanging on by a thread.
Is he that old too?
Yes, and they literally have. So, you know, we reached out to all the sources that was available. We deal with cases like this a lot. You know, we did everything we could do to get them some help.
We are today. I was going to go with 70.
They meet a criteria. A lot of times they don't meet the criteria. They would tell you, we're fine, we know what we're doing. She has to have dogs to
Feel better.
feel better.
Good for emotional comfort.
It's not really.
It is very sad. It was a decision made for the benefit of the people and the animals together. I said we talked to Eric and Joe and Coach and like things, the best option for everybody. It is a burden to the county, but unfortunately we had to intervene, so we did.
I'm gonna say something.
You don't know where the dogs are coming from?
No, we don't. We asked that multiple times. It's still a little bit of a mystery on the answers that we were given, but somehow they were, and doing very well with it. I think a lot of them were pups that were born at the house.
Yeah, I think a lot of it was breeding at the house because none of them are fixed, and they all look very similar.
And they probably sell a few here and there after we fell off.
Right.
And I just want to say this, you know, basically it's criminal threshold or owner surrender. When it's children, we have social workers, DCBS and all of that. we don't have that with dogs.
With
So, I mean, if we don't hit that criminal threshold, we have to work with these people. Whenever you start talking about with somebody with dementia, that makes criminal, I mean, do you really want me prosecuting
No.
somebody with dementia?
That's my questioning on all this.
Yeah, and the local health department wouldn't be who, intervenes in those situations.
I
So
don't think it would help
keep,
them.
keep that in mind. The greater good, the county might be paying a price, but the greater good is served by going this amicable route rather than me having this couple in criminal court.
No, no, I appreciate that.
It sounds like Eric and the sheriff's office and everybody's in the county attorney's office are doing everything correctly and trying to work with these people, and I appreciate Eric takes the extra step, I appreciate that.
He's very good at what he does out there, and I commend him for what he does. We try to communicate everything we can to make it easier for Eric. So he's like, hey, we might be having these dogs. You might want to. It was about a week before we finally made the choice to go and take them. So it gave him a little time.
Yeah, we got it ready, got prepared, and we actually reached out to the Humane Society, and they were nice enough to allow us a couple kennels to get us prepared so we can move some stuff around to be able to get these done, to get these animals in. So with that being said, we do have only 78 animals at the facility right now, which we did when we first got them in, had about 90. So the staff at the shelter were doing an amazing job getting dogs moved. And this is all basically without any help of any rescues. We're reaching out to rescues, and hopefully as time goes and people start seeing what we're doing there, they'll want to start working with us again. I think that was a big part of why people have been slow to work with us, is just based on past issues. Those issues are going away.
Let me say something. I was out there late yesterday and we had a visitor. I'm not going to mention that. I'll let Eric, if he decides to tell that. A visitor that had been out there previously, years past, and they were very satisfied and very complimentary of the work that has been done out there to clean that place up. If you haven't been out there, I suggest you go see for yourself. It's in great shape. But carry on.
Well, I've had constituents in my district say, did the animal shelter get fixed? And I said, have you been there? Because the best way for you to be able to judge that is to go yourself.
Right.
Agreed.
And so I'm thinking that's what we all need to be saying.
I'm glad you said that, because we're going to give them an opportunity to come out.
Exactly. So our summer event did get postponed because of the rain. It was supposed to be June 30th. We had hard rain that morning, and threat of rain in the afternoon. And of course, as they say, if you postpone it, it's not going to rain. If we would have had the event, it would have rained. So it didn't rain, but we did postpone it. It's now going to be Sunday, July 21st, same time, 1 to 4. And it looks like we're getting the same vendors back out. And Clay is going to come out. He's a huge help in getting everything set up with the cars. He's going to bring out his music and do what he does kind of out here on the lawn out front. So it should be a good event. We're excited for it. And I think we're being pushed back. We might even get more people. It was close to 4th of July, and there was a ton of events going on. So this, I think, is going to be even better for us. Speaking on what the judge just said, is we are in the process of starting a new veterinary partnership, and it is with Nashville Road Animal Hospital. Dr. Ellie has been absolutely amazing with us. We did have them come out. She did bring out all 3 of her 2 other partners and her office manager. We had about an hour and a half walk through and talk. It sounds like we're on the right direction. Our past partnership with the veterinarian we had was more of just filling in holes that we needed. She's actually going to work with us and you know, we've had a good talk. She wants us to, she's all about helping save money, which I'm all about. And instead of using them for a lot of the tools, she's going to give us the tools to use for ourselves and teach us on how to look at things. We're going to get a microscope so then we can look at fecal samples ourselves and kind of diagnose what's going on. And then the things that we can take care of on site, we can take care of on site. So it's going to save us, maybe in the short term, to buy the microscope and get some of the tools we need is going to be an upfront cost, but in the long run, it's going to save us money. So we're not just running everything to the vet going, hey, what's this, what's this? And
Save you time too.
And yes, and that's a huge part of it, is saving precious manpower.
Yeah.
So yes, that's going to save us a ton of time, and we're trying to get it worked out where they're going to come on site like every other, like bi-weekly.
Really?
Yes.
That is good.
And then do non-emergency stuff, you know, if we have a dog that, you know, looks like it did something, but it's not an emergency, they'll be on site to give us advice on what can be done. That goes with all the rabies vaccines. Right now, we've been doing, when the dog gets fixed, that's when we do our rabies vaccines. So what I think this is going to do for us is the partnership is going to just boost our what we're trying to get done and make us that step higher of, hey, we're doing all the right things. We're not just flying by the seat of our pants. We're not just doing this. So we're going to have a true partnership where they come in, and these dogs, then we know when we adopt them out, are healthy and are going to go. Because nothing worse than where you adopt a dog out and they call us and say, hey, this has this major health issue. What happened? And we didn't have that opportunity to check it. Now we'll be able to have that happen. So, and it's going to save us it's going to save us a ton of money, because we'll be doing a lot of stuff on site. We'll have 8 steps done before we even have to talk about going to the vet. And then if we can't figure out those 8 steps, then we call them and say, hey, we've done everything on our end, it's something else. And then that's where we can make the call of, listen, this is a major health issue, you know, where are we going to go from there, you know? And like I say, we're 98% our save rate, so 90% is our threshold. I mean, we're doing an amazing job with that. So I think what's going to, you know, that's going to help keep us at that, keep us, our numbers are.
Okay, on the couple that had the 26 that you picked
Yes.
up and kept 2.
Yes.
One was male, one was female?
To be honest, I don't have that answer.
Okay.
Because
it's a lot quicker for a male.
Right.
And if you had to leave 2 to assuage the emotional connection.
It would have been ideal to leave
2 of one sex.
2 of one sex.
But you didn't know.
Yes, I wasn't in there to take the last of the dogs out. I do know the first time we did take the dogs out, we took out 10 males. This time, we've only have the adult dogs 4 males. So the rest were females. So we got a boatload of females right now. So I think there was a lot of interbreeding going on just by looking at the dogs and everything.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's going to curtail that. I don't think she wanted this big of an issue. It just kind of snowballed on her and just got out of control with her, you know. So I think moving forward, knock on wood, I think we're going to be okay with that.
And just hopefully you won't be going out there with a couple litters north.
Exactly.
But you don't know. Steve, does your
Not really. I mean, I think he kind of keeps up with it, but that way, no, I don't think he does. But I can ask him to find out what sex.
On the 2 that are left with them, if their situation is as dire as you explained.
Honestly, I would have never thought about that, honestly. So I'll ask Travis what I'm sure he knows what sex was like there.
Well, I don't mean to burden you guys.
No, I mean, that's a very good point.
If they just had 2 of the same sex, you'd be on the road.
You're right. And I didn't even I don't even know if Travis is talking about
Well, considering the situation, what Joe just explained, or Phil just explained.
it. No, that's a very good point. I'll have to check.
It'd just be good in that case.
Yeah.
People say,
Okay. And well, let's carry on.
Yeah, so back to that real
Talk
quick
about
with
this.
with working with Nashville Road Animal Hospital. In 2 weeks at the next fiscal court, if you guys would like, Dr. Ellie, as of now, said she would come and answer questions for you guys. Just, as I said, she's a true amazing, wants to be a partner in this and not just a vet that we can put Band-Aids on. You know, so she would, and we had an amazing conversation. So if that's something we would like to do, I mean, she would be more than happy to come if anybody has questions with her, you know, and what her thoughts are as well. Because if you guys have questions, obviously having her give those answers, because she would know more than I would know. And that's kind of what we're trying to do. So employees, I'm knocking on wood today. We are fully staffed, so that's absolutely amazing as of today. We just, obviously, with moving into the new fiscal budget, we now have the 2 full-time positions. And Ashley is absolutely amazing. She was my front of house girl. She moved to full-time. I put her more into like an assistant director role. And she has a true passion for this. And that's who I'm putting in with Dr. Ellie to learn how to do all the, you know, everything that needs to be done that can be learned. And she's absolutely phenomenal and loves her job. I mean, it's pretty impressive. And we have our lead kennel tech, Adam. He's been a rock star. He's been there 6 days a week when we were understaffed. So getting these new guys in has been an absolute blessing, to the point where I'm going to be gone for 4 days. It's going to be amazing. So we're excited to see how things are turning out and how everything's happening. The only other last 2 issues I have is I've kind of talked to Jason. We had a quick conversation about AC, right? I want to have someone come out and just give us a maintenance. And he kind of suggested it would be nice to have a company do the maintenance on not just us, but maybe even look at a contract to go look at some of the other facilities. You know, and maybe that would save us money, as well as if instead of, and obviously in the long run, do a maintenance program and be proactive instead of reactive. Because nothing would be worse than trying to go out there and it's 90-something degrees. You know,
I think we can work that out of trying to find somebody and put it out.
Yeah, I mean, we
do that at the jail, we do it here, the Justice Center, and several others.
just add them to the contract or something.
Possibly just add that to one.
Same rate.
Same rate, right?
yeah, because like I said, I mean, we don't have any issues now, but I'd hate to have issues come up. And then the last thing is that roof line. I know we did talk about it, and hopefully Magistrate Bolden can get out sometime, would be amazing. We're just, whenever he's available, we would love to just get his ideas of what we can do. Because once again, that wood's going to start rotting, and then we're going to have major issues. And I'd rather be ahead of the game than behind chasing it. So, as I said, I've reached out to him, and whenever he's available, you know, we'd love to hear what he has to say.
Can you fly back real quick, Thomas?
Yeah. He's a busy man, so I don't want to.
Where is Thomas?
But other than that, that's all I have. Is we're very happy with how things are moving and the partnerships we're getting and as we're growing. So, any questions?
Appreciate everything, Eric.
You got it. Thank you.
Have a great week.
Yeah.
Next up is Nathan with solid waste.
Good morning.
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 Had in your folders the Hooter
Abatement report in the month of June. Picked up 25.5 miles, 72 bags, and 9 tires. We did have a new litter abatement deputy that started. Appreciate his work. Seems like so far it's going good. So always appreciate also the nonprofits out there working, keeping it going. I do have a recycling report in there as well. And in the month of June, or in this last 30 days, about 18 bales and some metal and aluminum. Tim and the crew getting also some facility improvements out there, so we're proud about that. So, y'all had any questions?
No problems with transferring your recycle anymore? They're not turning it down anymore?
Everything, it seems like it's still going great, according to Sam. I asked Sam to
Hallelujah.
talk about it. So.
Okay.
You and I talked briefly about it, Nathan, but we have, a serious issue out on Morgantown Road with a specific address or a trailer that, just like we had the one last meeting, we had the grass waist high, but this particular situation has been, I think, a problem since I've been on court. I mean, we're always having to go back to it and send them letters, and Nathan spends like so much time sending these letters and trying to work with them, and then if it don't happen, then we have to work with the county attorney's office and using state laws, and then it's just a lot of time and effort, especially on Nathan's part. We've got to come up with something that gives him more teeth on dealing with these extreme issues. I'm not talking about making sure somebody's yard is beautiful and it's, below 8 inches or whatever the rules are. But if we have houses that are close to each other, and the property owner, especially if they don't even nobody's living in it, and they don't live here, so they don't have to deal with it. So we've got to put something in place to where Nathan has more teeth, to where he doesn't have to go back and forth, he's probably still sending the letters, but at some point, instead of it going on for years, or a year or 2 years, that he can say, okay, you have to do this. So I'm just putting that out there as, I don't know, I think Joe had mentioned that you can call it code enforcement, you can call it whatever the heck you want to, but
essentially similar to what I was saying with the dogs, is there's a threshold and the law requires something less for those things that don't rise to the level of a crime, and that would be an administrative process, which is similar to a code enforcement board. It doesn't have to be that specifically, but if we're really going to try and get serious about enforcing these, that's where these need to go. And in writing that up, there are benefits to it, because again, similarly to what I was saying with the couple that Steve was referencing, that's mowing your yard isn't historically what you think of a criminal prosecutor to be dealing with. There are things that you can put into them where you can mow the property, which fixes it, and then get liens back, but it has to go through this administrative process where they get notice and opportunity to be heard. They ultimately have opportunities to appeal it over to court. A lot of times that doesn't happen. It works pretty well. I would encourage you all to maybe reach out to your local cities and see if they have any of these hearings coming up. I know the city of Russellville does it some, and I don't think there's a whole lot of them, because typically they're doing what Nathan does and they get them worked out need for that hearing, but
they have
that next step that makes it
chip as in to tell them, hey, if you don't do this,
right,
this is the consequences.
Yeah.
And like I said, you live off a beaten path and you want to make your yard look like a haunted house, I don't care. But if you live next to people with families with animals, the guy that I talked to yesterday, they have some chickens. They're losing their eggs, and and the kids, they're afraid for their kids to go out in the yard, too much because of snakes. They found these huge snake skins everywhere. It's just, I'm not talking about beautification, nothing like that, but just respect of your neighbors. And how do we, even if we, say we have, can fiscal court make up a separate board or something that maybe once every other month at 8:30?
Meaning you all want to be the board that hears it? I mean, I can look into that. I will also say, I know we've been down this road before, and a lot of people, you know, start to get worried because, like, they are fearful of, you know, things they hear from cities where Nathan comes out there with a ruler and says, "Oh, your grass is too tall."
That's not what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
alleviate, but
Yeah, I'm
if you
talking about
let me finish, I'm
human
trying
height, you know.
I'm trying to help alleviate that concern, because that's always what happens. But zoning could go far with that as well, because you could have different requirements for residential areas versus farm areas, because inherently something that is being farmed, you don't need it to be cut the same height. That you can have it a lot more free and open. So that's just another example of, if you look at this comprehensively as these two things together, then you could make those to where you can differentiate between those type of properties. But yeah, I can look into having you all be the code board and all.
I mean, we wouldn't hardly have any cases or anything really, because we would want to be such a, you know, extravagant amount of height in a yard or something, and you gotta be within so many feet of another house or within a subdivision or something like that. I mean, it would be a onesie-twosie every year, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just not, but I just think Nathan spends a lot of time trying to, you know, hunt people down, and I guess he's still gonna do some of that, but at the same time, I think he might get a better response if, you know, we could do something more.
Just a question on what Tyler's saying. What is your strongest bite? What is the strongest thing you are able to do?
You don't have any.
You talking about,
That's
we're
what
talking about with the yard mowing.
Just like in that case there, is it just a strongly worded letter and that's your strongest bite?
I work the best I can with them to try to
It's just
bring motivation around. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Because,
it's just-
yeah, it's a
I'm
state,
talking about-
there's a state statute that I would
Human height, you know what I'm saying?
But as far as like
But when you write that
procedure-
letter,
In the middle of a
People
subdivision.
right next door.
you don't really have any tools in the toolbox, I guess. That's what I'm asking.
He does sometimes, but it's limited, and I would just say probably best for us to leave it at that at this point. But if you really want it to work better, you need to start thinking about what Tyler's talking, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. I mean, it's like, we have a lot of park, I just wondered what the
I would say
biggest bite we have.
I mean, we have, what, probably 5 to 10 criminal cases that we bring a year that stem from these type of things.
Yeah.
So
and not really much with
that's
yard
why I
mowing.
get that. It can go criminal.
It's just
It's a long,
gotta be
drawn-out
pretty
process.
rough.
Usually the letters do help on the yard mowings, talking to them, working with them, you know, keeping it out of any going any
You're
further.
working on 2 for me.
Right.
And they've been this way. I mean, like, it's just like a slap on the wrist, and it just goes back to even getting worse. I mean, you know,
It's
and it's
tough.
neighbors around. I told you I wouldn't want to live at either one of the places, next to either one.
Well,
of them.
think about it, if they want to sell their house, and then they show their house to somebody,
Yeah.
they come out here and say, "Has that been, you know,
Ew.
who's this?"
Yeah,
You know,
ew,
so,
yeah.
you know, like I said, if it's out in the country, beaten path, who cares?
Right.
But if you're living close quarters or in subdivision, then you know,
And this goes back to the end goal of what we've been discussing since day one, is the planning and zoning. And along with planning and zoning comes code enforcement. And, you know, I've already had several discussions, and I've had discussions on both sides. This is a positive goal towards the planning and zoning we're speaking.
And I'm happy to work with anybody. I might like to talk to whoever was putting this together, you know, just talking about the guidelines as well as the enforcement mechanisms, so.
Yeah, I don't know that, you know, I guess you could talk to the city of Russellville maybe and see what the process is, but I don't think that would be a good example on their codes, because they're gonna have a lot more strict codes in the city, obviously.
I don't think Nathan really needs to worry about it as much as you all being comfortable with what that process is and how you want to implement that and what codes you want it to be. I know Nathan will be diligent and work with people. He's workhorse in that regard, and I very much appreciate that he continues to do that, and that he doesn't get frustrated with me, but I can get him through what he needs to do once we get to that point. It's more just you all getting comfortable with passing that, and then setting those pretty clear standards that are enforceable and not arbitrary.
Well, do you have any resources you can grab from that we could?
I mean, we could get some, but the easiest one I would give you would be to look at the city of Russellville, because they're the ones that we do it with here locally.
Well, I mean, it hurts more people than it would help more people than it hurts if we do something like this. I mean, I know people are going to say, "Oh, they're going to try and tell me to do my own property." No, only if you're just totally just unreasonable, won't mow it. The guy I talked to yesterday has mowed that 4 times, but it's gotten so bad his mower won't even mow it, and he's got a pretty.
This is a neighbor.
Yeah, mowed it for
Okay.
him. And and the rest of them in that area are just they're fed up, and I'd be fed up too. I mean, it's been going on since
That particular case, we had that in the court system, and they have cleaned up, they had trash there too, and they
Yep.
cleaned a lot of that up.
Well, they got a dumpster there, but this is
Yeah.
the second time since I've been on court we've had to do that. They got a dumpster, they got all the trash. I mean,
But they don't live there.
But it's right now kind of an abandoned property.
It's abandoned now.
I'm going to say this too, and this is just so you all have eyes, fully informed going into it. You can't look at this as a money-making venture where you're going to get your money back in. A lot of cities have these, and they'll try to do it to address blight, so they will put, they'll mow it repeatedly, and you put the liens on there, which you can get your money back, only if the house sells for that at the master commissioner sale. And I remember one of the local cities did that years ago, and I think were expecting that they were going to turn, some local taxes and other things over, and maybe at least get the money back that they spent on it. And the properties went for pennies on the dollar and didn't even cover the lawyers' fees and court costs, so we were all just getting portions of that.
Lawyers got paid first.
I tried to. I made sure the county got their fair share.
I got you.
In terms of that.
Yeah,
But,
it's definitely not a revenue fault.
But it allows you to go on the property and at least mow it and fix it and have some hope. But just know that, again, similar to taking those surrendered dogs, you're serving the greater good by doing it this way.
Thank you for
I just
bringing
wanted
it
to
up.
bring that up.
Everybody's gonna have that happen, and it's good to hear all the input from court. Next time.
I'll keep plugging away at it.
Okay, thank you,
Not
buddy.
too tired of me? Be talking about some tires in a minute. So.
All right, buddy.
All right, moving along, let's go ahead into judges' announcements. Judges' announcements. July the 11th through the 13th is the Logan County Fair. I believe that's the right dates. Yes, well, sorry. It's on my, that's today. Well, I thought it was. July the 9th through the 13th is the Logan County Fair at the Ag Extension Office at 255 John Paul Road. I do want to make everyone aware that the John Paul Road during the time of the fair will be closed to through traffic. To come to the fair, you will have to enter through 6880 bypass. The 11th is the tractor pulls. The 12th is the special need pageant and the side-by-side races / derby. July the 12th and the 13th, lemonade stands for the Isaiah 117 house will be spread out all over the county. Please look at their Facebook page for more information. July 13th is the Logan County Fair Little Mr. and Mrs. Pageant that will start at 1 p.m. at the Extension Office. Throughout the whole week, the entertainment and amusement rides will be going. Also, July the 13th is Cruising on the Square by Clay. They will be starting that at around 5 o'clock with a bunch of different things going on there. In Auburn on the 13th, starting at 7 o'clock, there's a party on the square presented by Auburn Tourism. From 6, I want to play place it says 6, one says 7. So anyway, so around 6 to 10. The Saturday night of the 13th is also the demolition derby. I believe that's about all I've got for right now on some announcements. Moving on, we don't have any reports. So at this time, citizens participation, I don't see but 5,000 or 6,000 people that might be interested, and no one's coming forward, so we'll move on. We have nothing for old business, so let's move on into new business. First up on the agenda is approval for software license agreement for the county clerk's office. Hi, Stacy. Hey. Do you have anything you want to say on this, or?
I did want to know, I believe it went down. I believe the pricing actually went down. There is a maintenance agreement that I'm going to have him send to me, and I may bring it to you guys, but it would be for like a 5-year term on the equipment that we just bought. Like y'all had agreed for me to do $27,900, I believe, on some equipment, and then I'm using this grant money, dock storage money, to do the other half of that project. I'd like to have a maintenance agreement on it. That way they'll replace if anything goes wrong with it. I have it anyway for a year on anything purchased new. But
Well, that's reasonable.
yes, because I just upgraded, but I'll bring it up here and let y'all look at it and see what you think about it, but I'll actually probably pay for it. It won't come out of our general budget.
I think it's an excellent idea.
I do too. That's a lot of equipment to, but this is the software and licensing agreement. This is what we already have, and like I said, I believe the price actually went down just a little bit this time on it from the last time we had it.
Make a motion to approve the software license agreement for the county clerk's office.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Stacy, you might as well stay up here because the next two or three have a lot to do with you.
I know it. Okay, so this one I am going to ask y'all for something that we didn't know about when we were planning for the budget. This is a 100% reimbursable grant. If y'all are willing to put up the $8,300 up front, and what it will do, it can be used for a part that we do not want, nor do we need. The other option to use those funds are for voting tables. And Donna did great, outstanding work getting me bids together for this. What we decided to do was break it down and how we wanted to get as many standing positions as we possibly can. That way we can be prepared, for big turnouts, huge turnouts. And we do have some tables we'd like to replace and use. We'll keep them, of course, but we would like to have newer ones. Just they're showing some age on them. So. But it is going to wind up costing us $100 in the end because it is an $8,300. But in order for us to take full advantage of that, we'll need to spend $8,400. I'll be out of pocket $100.
So you're doing
I want to do the 28 duo booths.
Forms and supplies.
Correct. That's the one we would like. That's what we're recommending to the board if y'all are okay with us doing that.
That's a good idea.
Yep, I do too. I make a motion to approve the Help America Vote Act security grant application resolution.
I'll second that.
Perfect.
I have a motion and a second. No further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Now, the next thing up is approve the order of allowance to the Board of Assessment Appeals. Tracy, you got anything to say?
I don't, just that the state will pay us back half of that. I'm
Motion
gonna go
to
ahead and
approve.
have a seat.
Second.
$50.
Yep. I have a motion and a second. That was pretty quick. With no further discussion, roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wilcutt,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Thank you, Stacy.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you.
Number 4, approve the report for the waste tire grant for fiscal year 23-24. Bring us the tire news.
Hello again.
So moved.
I have a motion Thomas,
Second.
second by Jason.
Do y'all have any questions
You just
about
have
it?
to say
We
what.
did.
I don't think there's anything, it is what it is, I don't think there's any discussion. If there's no further discussion, if there is discussion, now's your time. If not, roll call.
We made it easy on you.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcutt.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. I've been told to leave the dad jokes alone for now, so okay. Number 5, approve the contribution of $200 to the 8th of August Emancipation Celebration Steering Committee.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. No further discussion, roll
How
call.
much was that?
$200.
Davenport.
Yes.
Goodwin.
Yes.
Wilcutt.
Yes.
Harper.
Yes.
Crawford.
Yes.
Bolden.
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Next up on our item is item number 6. It's more of a discussion matter more than anything. We just need to have an open discussion about 911 and the amount of money we're gonna have to start spending on this to get all this equipment replaced. It's a lot of money that we're gonna have to push out there, so I just want everybody to be kind of aware that we're gonna be coming and having these discussions more often about funding and how to fund our emergency operations center, our radios and such.
And the only thing that I want to say about, I know there are 3 options out there that cities and counties have done, and 2 of them are on utility bills and 1 is on the tax bill. Me personally, as it relates to our scenario here, I would urge you to look at using the tax bill because, for one, we see how that goes into play a little bit with the ordinance we just passed on the streetlights, which means we do have a little bit of a process on it. And then 2, with the water bills, how many different water companies would we be dealing with?
Several.
And then we have multiple utility providers, and part of the holdup with the streetlight ordinance is when we first started looking into it, the ones we had as an example was different from the ones we were going with, so we had to, amend our approach on that. So it just feels like it would be simpler and cleaner to have it on one bill. Looking at the size of some of those counties that have it on the others, I would wonder if they have a sole provider, and which might make it a little bit easier. But then also collection would seem to be better on the tax bill because there is a pretty specific process for collecting shortfalls of people paying their taxes. We're right in the middle of that process right now. I know it's we never like doing things on the tax bills, and it might make sheriff's job harder, so if it is, I apologize, but the bookkeeping dealing with either 7 different water providers or 2 or 3 electrical providers seems a lot more than what it would be dealing with just one in-house group of people, so.
With that being said, I really think the electric bills at this current moment is taken off the table. By speaking to Penny Ryle, they're already in lawsuit about another county wanting to do this, so I think that would be something that we're going to have to probably just take that off of. So, with that being said, that was the only discussion I really wanted to have. I just want you guys to start thinking about it, thinking about that process.
Thank you for your update, Joe. That was good.
Judge, I guess I'd ask the question if the judge's office could, I guess, provide a little research, maybe like I don't have any clue like how many property tax bills would go out. But also I wondered if there's any way of like maybe finding out what an average number of water bills that go out amongst these 7 or 8 users. Then I'm sort of also like what kind of
1,500 property tax bills.
but like also how much what's our financial need,
Right. Yeah, and that's the whole purpose of this meeting right now, is just to
No, I think those kind of things.
Yeah,
that's
no, I
the things
totally understand. Yeah, our financial need is definitely it. I mean, I think we have a real close idea of where we're gonna have to be with this, to do this.
you know, I've shared with you, I've had my concern about tax bills over utility bills, if that's the direction to go, is just a significant number of renters, trailer parks, things like that, you know, it's sort of unfairly.
They're not paying.
But people typically build those into their
I'd like to make a
expenses.
suggestion. I would like to suggest that we have a special call meeting to work just through this subject right here.
I wanted to add something, if that's okay. I've been doing a little bit of research ever since we had brought it up at the budget meeting. There's another county that does it through the county, and basically what I was told, it is very messy. However, it can be done. You can't charge, I guess, delinquency, interest and penalties on it once it becomes delinquent. Does that sound right? Okay, so what they do, once the delinquents come to us, they take that fee and it goes to the treasurer, and then the judge's office collects it. But just the 911 fee. We would still take on the delinquencies. But I like what you said, if you could do a whole completely different card altogether, but just wanted to add that to the discussion.
All right, thanks.
It did help for Joe.
But I kind of agree with Thomas that we probably need to get together. I know we have a 911 committee, and I think we're gonna need to start there.
Yeah, I think that
coming together and then work through this. But the biggest thing is just being total transparency with the public and with you guys and with everyone, of knowing of what we're gonna have to do in order to have to upgrade. The equipment we have is
Yeah, if there's a fee, I don't think it would be fair if, you know, you had a renter that had 50 properties and they got a fee times 50. I mean, I don't think that's fair, unless they're passing it on to their
landlord.
Right, the landlord, yeah. But unless they're passing that on to the renter, I mean, I don't know.
And I think that's something the committee needs to look at, because that's that email that you sent us was very informative, and I liked that.
Yeah, and that's something that we want to do. I want to be total transparency of what this is going on. I don't want anyone to come and say, well, you threw this on us. I'm going to talk to Scott and make sure we get a page dedicated to this process so everyone can see what's going on and we know exactly what everything is. With that being said, I'll be reaching out to the committee pretty quick and we'll go from there.
Are we going to consider what Thomas said, a motion?
Well, I think we need to meet, no, I think what we need to do is get the committee together first and then come back
Without the
to
motion
the court to
meeting.
discuss that.
Okay.
That's
I'm
my
all for
opinion. Now,
that.
if Thomas wants to go ahead and set a meeting, that's fine, but we're going to have to be on it pretty quick.
No, I agree with it. Thomas, you got
What do
any
you think,
input?
Thomas? That was your suggestion.
I think, I mean,
You know, I have a little trouble hearing all of the judge's comments, but yeah, you know, I heard something about the committee doing something. I just think the matter is so big that we shouldn't do the majority of this in committee. I think it needs the full court's attention, and the full court, you know, should be participating in that instead of the committee doing 90% of the work and just coming back with a recommendation. It's just too big of a new thing for us to just allow committee only to do it. That's the reason I think we should have some working meetings as a whole body.
Agreed. And I agree with everything you said, Thomas, 100%. But I think preliminarily we need to have the committee together to set what our goals might be through the rest of the magistrates, rest of the court.
Yeah, but and I think we all are on the same page. I just think a meeting before that, you know, to set those goals as a whole, and then let the committee do some work, and then come back and we work again as a whole, you know, back and forth, you know, because there's a lot of different, you know, I've heard several different discussions about we're going to put it on the water bill, we're going to put it on the electric bill, we're going to put it on the property tax bill, we're going to follow the format that Paducah or McCracken County had. I've heard utility companies say we're going to fight you if you put it on it. You know, we just need to have those general discussions up front and, you know, put some parameters. Chris had a great point what funding level are we even trying to achieve? I think that would get a different answer from almost every person sitting at the table. For me, that answer, Chris, would be 100% of the operational cost to the 911 department, plus the future foreseeable needs, which we're already talking about new radio towers, new radio system. We're talking about multi-millions of dollars to do that. Where does that money come from? You know, now is the time, and it's the reason for having the discussion of doing the fee. So for me, it would be 100% the operational cost of that department plus what it would cost to bond, you know, the future need of the new radio system.
And I'm on the same page as you, Thomas.
Well, I'll tell you what I do.
Committee goes to me, they do a lot, and they come back with a proposal to generate $1.2 million. It's not gonna come close taking care of our need.
So this will just be for the 911?
Just 911, not.
So how about this? I'll work and I'll reach out to each one of you, find out when a workable date is, and then maybe we set that meeting on our July 23rd date.
Okay.
Is everybody good with that?
Yep.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
So you good with that, Thomas?
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah, I heard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right, with that being said, let's move on to post agenda. The only thing we have, I think, that I have for post agenda is to talk about the chamber. Amanda has found the spot to bring that $1,000 for that 3x3. So basically.
Oh, on that bag
Yes,
at
ma'am.
the state fair?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Make a motion to purchase a 3-inch by 3-inch advertising logo for the state fair bags for
I'll
$1,000.
second that. That's a good idea.
So I got a motion and a second. If no further discussion, roll call please.
Davenport,
Yes.
Goodwin,
Yes.
Wolfett,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Crawford,
Yes.
Holden,
Yes.
Baker.
Yes. Okay, does anyone have anything else for post agenda? If not, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.